Hello and welcome to Joy News Exclusive. For those of you who are familiar with the landscape of McCarthy Hill, Wager, Bortianor, New Botianor and Kokrobite, you would attest to the fact that Accra West under the South Municipal Assembly has seen a boom in construction activities as individuals and families strive to own their own homes. On World Habitats Day, which is today, we zoomed in our lenses on Botianor and Kokrobite, two adjoining towns. Now, the springing up of new developments alongside existing slums and fisher communities along the coast was a shocking contrast of a sanitation horror amidst poor drainage and a community waiting to crumble under filth. Stay with us as we take you to Botianor for today's Joy News Exclusive. Botianor falls under the South Municipal Assembly Local Authority. It is predominantly a Ga community west of Accra's urban edge, with a beautiful landscape and a sprawling seaside view over the mountains, with expensive homes springing up everywhere. From a distance, Botianor looks like a well-planned neighborhood with some of Accra's popular beach resorts lined up on its beaches, stretching to those of the adjoining town, Kokrobite. But all that is a mere facade. The challenges of sanitation and lack of drainage is a ticking time bomb for Botianor and Kokrobite. The government's coastal sanitation and tree planting project is aimed at bringing a clean environment and a sense of worth to those who live and work around the beaches of the country. Now, behind me is a banner of ACI Construction in collaboration with the Coastal Sanitation and Tree Planting Project of the government of Ghana. So on Joy News Exclusive today, we took a walk to a few beaches across the country, and we're here in Botianor. Now, the contrast, as you can see right behind me, is that the beaches are not exactly clean. The question we're asking today on Joy News Exclusive is, what is happening to the coastal sanitation and tree planting projects? Are there any lessons we've learned so far? And are there ways we can bring cleaner environments and sanitary conditions to the people who live and work here? So what do residents themselves make of this unsanitary situation right behind one of Accra's popular beach resorts? Right, so like I said earlier, I am in Botianor, Chokome, near the Densu River, and I'm here with the former assemblyman of the area, Emmanuel Ade Ansa, and he's going to have a chat with me about the sanitary conditions in this area. So, Emmanuel, tell me, I mean, what we see here is a great contrast to what we saw earlier about the project, the Coastal Sanitation and Tree Planting Project. So, tell me what your concerns are in this area, in particular when it comes to sanitation.
Yeah, in this area, the problem is this rubbish way is here. The rubbish. As I can see, when you put this thing, refuse tanker here, no chole journey. Okay, go by BNN. Akabanya ke kwa wo. She sure na kometo in general. It's what I say. I stop am well. There, I'm a ball. Da na ke baska abenedi ba na di ba tele no they have shit.
But you see, so what is the cause of this?
Oh, no, you can't fair body. Literacy, let me see. Because at times say I teach Bonnie sanitation and area because BNN is a tourism area. Boto beach here, another beach layer BNN. You see, and then so enter the sea at Chukome Botianor here. You see, so we need more education to our people because the MP is trying his best The assemblymen, they are trying their best. The chief fisherman, the same thing. But still, so
I want to understand the problem. Is it the problem from the people not being clean or conscious of a clean environment, or it is the assembly who is not doing well?
No.
And the government, coastal cleaning, sanitation, they're not working.
They are working. They are working seriously. They are working seriously. But the people, right, from the whole thing from the people at the area. But they are working. I mean, tuning for paper. MPA each and every day. But I bet, come on, about okay, but why can't you? Otano Pamua Malisio Que, Sanimini, I can contain a Quabama beer. Ni about to try me, or get him Moko, ni failure to do so, Sunny. I can mark a why. The container they brought is almost 2. One at Botianor, but then when we are going to the solo, where we fed the water, where we fed the water, we fetch the water. When you go there, you will see the same rubbish at that place, no container. So the MP is trying to bring us some.
Right. So Emmanuel, let's take a walk, a bit of a walk towards the Denso River, and we can see right there. Our cameras will take a shot at the heap of rubbish that is sitting right at the edge of the river, where a lot of the fish we consume come from rivers of this nature, which means that it is critical for any water body to have a cleaner environment for the sustenance and well-being not only of the people who live in the area, but also of the nation and the broader community at large. So this is not only a problem that affects one person or one community, but the whole country's health is at stake. When we see this kind of thing, does it worry you as a former assemblyman that we're surrounded in filth? We fish. We fish, and then the people have poo-pooed, and there are deposits of human excreta all around, and yet we eat fish from here.
I'm not happy about it, but we are trying to solve that problem small. We have to educate them so that they stop. All these things have to be stopped, because they don't enter the sea here, and then we catch fish inside the Denso River here,
and we eat.
You see. So my problem is to advise them or teach them. You see, teach them how to
keep the environment.
Yes, because it's worried. It's worrying.
Emmanuel is worried, and I am worried too.
Chokome in Botianor is right behind the popular beach resort, Bojo Beach. This is where the fishermen mend their nets. It is where they land their fish catch as well. This is where the women clean and wash their pans and jute sacks. It is the same place they ease themselves. They use as a toilet when pressed to attend to nature's call. This is where the children play, work, and take a nap sometimes. If you enjoy your hot kinky with fish fingerlings, they could be fish from Chokome, right by the side of the filth. The consequences of the insanitary conditions at our beaches have far-reaching implications. Secretary to the Chief Fisherman of Chokome in Botianor tells me the problem is partly to blame for the dwindling fish catch.
We do general cleaning over here to clear all those things over here. Weekly, monthly, or 2 times in a month. We do that.
You do that? But
yeah.
So when your people come from fishing and they bring the fish, do they sell the fish in the midst of the rubbish?
Oh yeah, but they normally clean here. The women, they normally clean here with their brooms. We normally order them to clean the environment very clean before they buy the fish for the fishermen. So we make sure the landing of a canoe should land at a place where it is very, very tidy. Yeah. One thing is that a fisherman from fishing landed, and then impromptu, and then there's a toilet affecting him. So he have to run back to the sun to shit over there. So if there's a toilet room over here, I think that person can go inside and do that.
But I'm told that there are a lot of toilets in the city.
Yeah.
Your people cannot use that.
That's what I'm saying, that the person landed here selling his fish, and he's having run up.
Yeah.
In order to go to the town,
It's too far.
it's too far to him.
So you want the government and the municipal assembly to create places of convenience here at the beach,
Yes.
to help keep your environment clean. So you heard from the Boy, and his concern is that sometimes when fishermen land their canoes, they are catch, and if they are pressed to go to the toilet, they have no option here at the beach than to just find a way in the sand to ease themselves. And we'll be grateful if government comes to their aid to create places of convenience right here at the beach to help curb the situation of indiscriminate easing around the beaches.
In the adjoining town of Kokrobite, residents complain of the absence of drains, which make their lives a living hell when it rains.
From Botianor, I've moved next door to Kokrobite, and like Botianor, Kokrobite is a fishing community where residents here live by the sea and work by the sea. It is also a tourist center in Accra and one of the popular destinations for beach lovers around the country. Now, I'm standing right in the middle of a big drain, a very huge drain, which I'm told by residents divides the town anytime there is a heavy downpour. I'm here to explore what the problem is for this community in terms of this drain, and then find out whose responsibility it is to ensure that this drain follows an appropriate or proper route into the sea and not divide the community. Few meters from that huge drain I was in earlier flows this one into the heart of the community. But make no mistake, today is a dry day. When it rains, all this area is flooded, absolutely divided into two by rains. And the houses here on my right and those here on my left are all engulfed in water and filth. I have the assemblyman here with me,
Kwashi.
Andrew Ni Ayi Kwashi. So Andrew,
yeah,
great to have you.
You are welcome.
We're standing in a gutter, technically,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me the challenge that this community face when it rains, heavy rains.
Well, first and foremost, let me use this opportunity to thank Multi TV for the wonderful job that they are doing. In fact, a lot of TV stations have to be doing this. They have to come to our communities so that we will expose the problems that we have in the communities. So let me thank you once again. Yes, as you said earlier on, we have a lot of problems. This is the only drain in the community. And the culvert in front of the police station, when it rains from Tuba, then on the hills, that's where it passed. Then when it got to this point, it spread to the whole community, and the people living here, in fact, they are suffering. They are suffering a lot. Yeah.
So what have you been doing about it as an assemblyman?
Well, my main job is to lobby, and as for lobbying, I'm very good in it. Yeah, I'm very good in it. So I've been to urban roads several times. My MP have also been there, but the only thing they tell us is in the pipeline. That's the English for the politician. Always the thing is in the pipeline, and we don't know when it will come out of the pipeline.
So what do you need here?
Well, at the moment,
let me understand clearly what you want.
Yeah, we want a very good gutter from the police station.
More like a storm drain.
Yeah, a storm drain. That's what we need here. Other than that,
but there are people who still live on the edges of the gutter. They have to move, perhaps, in order to create space for this gutter you want.
Now that we are not doing it, that's why they are here. But when they see the engineers on site, they have no choice than to move.
You're lobbying for a storm drain to be created here.
Yeah.
You think that will solve the problem?
Definitely. That's what is
so
going to solve the problem.
So you said you will show me to one of the worst sites.
Yeah.
So let's take a walk.
All right, let's
so
go.
that you can show me those worst sites. Well, this is Joy News exclusive, and the Joy News team went to Kokrobite, Botianor to explore the sanitation problems in that area, as well as poor drainage system that they're facing. Now, on Facebook, we're asking that if you're familiar with Botianor and Kokrobite, tell us what you make of the sanitation and drainage challenges there as we bring you today's JN exclusive. Now, I'm asking what sanitation problems are in your area, apart from Bortianor, Kokrobite, that you feel that your local authority has not been forthcoming in dealing with. So I've got a few of your comments, and I like to read some of them. Ronald Yaboa, fine boy, you say that free range is the sanitation problem in my area. Aside me, the rest go about easing themselves around, and when it rains, the water brings it back into our veranda. God save us. And Never Simbaden says, I think Botianor has a very bad sanitation record. It's very bad, and it needs very critical look at. It needs a critical look. And Kennedy Asari says that it's bad in Kumasi too. I guess that it's not a problem for only Botianor and Kokrobite. Ronald Yaboa still says that Botianor and Kokrobite might be better than those living in and around Sakasaka Gata area, since their main agenda is to promote cholera in the region. Lumo Leslie says that the sanitation in my area is very bad. Something has to be done about it. Never Seen Again says, Englishy, a man from Top Town, Gas South, there are no gutters to check this erosion when it rains. Waste materials flood straight to the road there by causing so many problems for drivers. And Jimmy Ajeti says, Adenta is a bit okay when it comes to sanitation problems. I am proud of Adenta. Jimmy, you're lucky that your area is better by what you're saying. Aite Villanova Derek says, oh, our gutters are still choked. And Bonti Benjamin says that all the above is nothing good to write home about in our localities. God save us. Christian Salvo, you say that, well, I think that sanitation is very vital to this nation. Therefore, we must be serious about that. Sedodo Favor, you say that I'm not there, but the scene is very bad. Emmanuel Clark, you say sanitation is a big issue in our nation, but sanitation is going to kill us. Government must deal with it. And Protocol Kofi Francis, you say Keta is also performing bad in sanitation project. We need toilets at both the market and in the community. Please help us. And Nana Sembi Inti, you say Top Town and its environs need the attention of government. Top Town is in an English amount from same constituency as Botianor and Kokrobite, which is a new created constituency created out of the Wager constituency. Jimmy Ajiti Ajay again says that I beg something must be done in Ashaman, Nima, Jamestown and Choco. The fact is that they have bad road network and all the gutters are choked. So the sanitation is linked to the road lack of gutters there. Amos Tinya says that if your news team is to come to my area, then you should come with a tractor. If not, so then you should not make any attempt. I mean, Atebubu to Kwame Danso and Danso to KJB. Well, we'll pause on your comments here, and this is Joy News exclusive. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the documentary. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Joy News Exclusive. On today's exclusive, we zoomed in our lenses to Botianor, Kokrobite, particularly because it's World Habitat Day. So stay with us and watch the continuation of the documentary.
I'm still standing in the waterway, and across to my right is the Sempe Stool House. We are told that this used to be a motorable road, but it is no longer a road accessible. It has been turned into a makeshift gutter, and over it is a bridge. And this is the worst part of the problem we have been talking about, from the police station down to this side. Now, our understanding is that the Sempe Stool House has been washed down 3 times already by flood waters, and it tells you on the wing of these gutters to the left and to the right are homes which faced intense flooding when it rains. So Nee is still here with me, Assemblyman, and you're telling me that this is the worst part of the place. What in your estimation makes it worse? Why is it worse in your mind?
Well, this is worse because from this point it's supposed to go down into the sea, but because there is no proper drain here, it cannot go. It cannot go. So because of that, this house has been down on 3 occasions, and it got to a point we realized we could not bear it any longer. So people have to do contribution, go in for excavator and dredge this point.
So this dredging was done by the
people? It was done by the people in the community.
With their own money and everything.
Of course, with their own money.
And has it helped with reducing the flood?
Yes, for now it has. For now it has.
Your greatest wish is to ensure that there will be proper drainage system laid out here into the sea. Do you have the support of the community to push for this?
Of course, almost everybody is behind me because it's a problem for the entire community. It's not for one person, it's for the entire community. When it rains, you need to be here to see things for yourself. So we are appealing to urban rules so that the English that they've been using is in the pipeline, The thing should get out of the pipeline so that we will see it for ourselves.
Well, this is Joy News Exclusive, and we're right in the drain of Kokrobite, exploring options of ensuring that the next time there are heavy rains, people who live here on my left and people who live here in the Sempe Stool House will be free from flooding, and perhaps will have a home they can sleep in without worrying that the next flood will sweep them away. Where? We don't know.
In the customary system, Botianor is a sub-stool under the Jamestown Paramountcy. However, it manages its own administration and affairs. Botianor exists as an autonomous entity ruled by customary authorities who administer land tenure, with the chief acting as the overall custodian of the land. But the absence of a system of collecting land rent and returns mean when there are issues of this nature, the chiefs have no financial strength to resolve them. So the Joy News team decided to drive to Gas South Municipal Assembly to find out from the MCE if there are any plans to resolve the challenges of Botianor and Kokrobite.
The agreement between the assemblies and waste management will last this year. You see, once that is done, then it means you cannot take over fully from the Zoom Lion company and start. If waste management as a whole in the country is being managed and there is a small area that is not being managed, then you know there's something wrong. But generally, waste management in this country as a whole is a problem. What we've been doing over the years is to collect waste from point A and dump it in point B. You say you are clearing waste here, at the same time creating waste
somewhere else.
He is optimistic, though, that the option of biogas could be the most sustainable solution to the problem of waste management, not only in Botianor, but in other districts and municipalities across the country.
It is recently when we tried to have an engineer landfill site, the one at Tema, boom. And then another mini one at Ajekoto. Now, when you take these two are supposed to service call it Accra. What we need to do now is for assemblies to come together, maybe AMA, Gas South, maybe Gas Central, Gas West, or whatever. Very big plot of land outside
Residential
areas, in an area where that development has not catch up.
But we've had sites like that before.
There are sites.
Then development catches up. Alaji Tabora was like that.
Yes, when Tabora was like that, what we need to do, by then, the population is so small. So we're not thinking, even where we have the West African Exam Council, the building, it was a dumping site. You know, what's a dumping site? By then, what was the size of the population? When you read our constitution, our national constitution itself, it's not a developmental constitution. It's at all not a developmental constitution. It's a political constitution. You see, we have reached a stage where the issue of parties coming out to manifestos should be relegated to the background. We must have a national manifesto. That's why all parties, all stakeholders.
We have the NDPC.
Yes. So if it is the NDPC, all of us must accept the NDPC as an organization that must come out with the national development plan. And that plan, if it is the NDC, the NPP, the CPP, the PPP, it is the same plan. Well, it looks as if we've been wasting mad money on how to manage our waste. Just imagine the amount of money that goes into collection of waste in this country. Every district assembly spent a lot, in collection of waste. But we are not getting anything directly from it. You may spend millions or thousands upon thousands of Ghana cedis in waste collection. What do you get in return? Nothing. But there are a lot that we can, gain from these things. Like here in the Gasol municipality, we have more than 5 landfill sites. Some has been fully used, and we have now decomposed most of these landfill sites, cap them. This is a time for us also to make sure that we generate gas from most of these landfill sites that has been capped. As well as the Saba landfill site has been capped, we can generate enough gas from it. The Mala 1 and 2 landfill sites that has been capped, and the other Obrogo landfill site that has been capped. All these areas we can generate gas from. It is for us now to make sure, get in touch with those with their expertise to come down with their machines and the whatnots. There are instances where we have a vehicle that can bottle the gas, just like that, a mobile. These are the things that we have to. By so doing, we'll be generating this domestic gas where canteens, restaurants, and the whatnot will be using it. We will sell it, you make good returns from that one. The returns that you make, you can use that money, and also in other developmental areas in the municipality.
Well, it didn't look like the MCE had all the answers to help solve the problems Botianor and Kokrobite face, at least in the short term. So the team drove to Wager to the offices of the Member of Parliament of the area, Bright Dimoji.
So, Honorable, we told your constituents, parts of your
constituency and came at first hand with the problems in the community, sanitation issues, challenges with open drains and challenges with flooding, among other things. I mean, as a member of parliament for the area, I'm sure these things have come to your attention. What is your blueprint to resolving the problem?
Yeah, this is a virgin constituency, and it's just been cut out of the old Wedia constituency. So basically, there are big challenges, and it is not only in a virgin constituency, but a developing urban community. So it comes with its own challenges, and we are constantly in touch with the various state institutions that are supposed to solve this problem. Our major function is to ensure that we brought this problem to the attentions of the institutions involved that are supposed to solve this problem. So clearly, we have a very nice, wonderful plans with regard to the urban roads department and then the feeder roads. And they have given us a lot of assurance with regard to the major roads I'm talking about, from the old Bortianor junction down to Kokrobite, then you come to Tuba Junction. That road, they have done the design and everything in place. We are working assiduously to ensure that it's been put in the 2014 budget. Then you go to communities like Amanfrom, where the issue of drainage is a very old town and a very developed community, but you cannot even see a single drainage system. And we have brought this to the attention of the urban road director, and he has gotten a very nice package. And as I speak, they just started constructing a road from Adam Nana. Now be passing through the new market down to Amanfrom Township. So the major headache of Amanfrom, coming from the JD Junction to Top Town and linking Obondanyamba Road, they just started. So that is also being taken care of. Our bigger problem is sanitation, and then the issue of drainage, especially a community like Brigade area, Kokrobite, to be specific, is a very big drain that passes through the town, and during a heavy downpour, it caused a lot of damage to the inhabitants. So
you're saying there are plans for this particular one?
For that one, I can't say yes, because I've brought it to the attention of the minister. He asked the deputy to come and have a look at it. So we are now planning for them to have an official visit to the place. Then they can plan as to how they will manage it. And that one is very serious. I've written to the Minister of Work and Housing, and the minister is also promised me that the deputy minister will be coming around to do the inspection of the road with the technocrat to see how they can design it. But when we look at the way it is, it's not a normal, it's not just an ordinary drain. They need a lot of technical advice and how they will design it. That's critical. So we are in touch with the state institutions that are supposed to do this particular thing, because these ones, they go beyond maybe a common fund or whatever resources that an MP will have at his disposal to take care of this thing. They go beyond that. I can say on daily basis, you see a lot of people, communities, elders, opinion leaders, the chiefs, and sometimes even assemblymen and unit committee members trooping in, calling on daily basis on these issues. But what can you do? Your job, your responsibility is to ensure that you brought this into the attention of the institutions involved, and then they put some amount of pressure, so that in the preparation of the budget for 2014, they can inculcate some of these things to the budget, so that some of these challenges we do. We are in an urban center. I've always said that, honestly speaking, Greater Accra, there must be a special fund to take care of Greater Accra. The bigger issue is funding.
So if I go to him, which I did, we went to him, it wasn't exactly forthcoming, but I'm thinking that this is also because perhaps there is no proper working relationship between yourself, the Member of Parliament, and the Municipal Chief Executive in drawing out exactly which key areas need funding and how to pursue the funding. You have an influence to do that, can't you?
As for, that's why I'm saying that state institutions like the Department of Urban Roads, the Department of Feeder Roads, the Ministry of Works and Housing. These are key institutions that are involved in development. The House of Assemblies, they play some level of supplementary role anyway. But if you look at our issues, they are even beyond, with regard to especially the road network. Clearly, they are even beyond the assembly. That's why most of the issues have been tackled at the national level. I'm working with the urban director, Mr. Abbas, to look at the issues critically for us. So honestly, we've been working together. There are minor issues. Sometimes we organize the association meetings, meet the community regarding how we can solve some of the issues that are fall within the domain of the assemblies. But if you said from your own introduction that you're in the community, and if you look at the assembly budget alone, you cannot take care of these challenges. As a short-term measure, what we are doing is that we have a very small communities that we can get them some level of maybe the refuge dump containers. But there's another alternative which I think we want to explore, which is even after getting the containers, disposing them of always becomes a challenge. So we are looking at how we can be able even to dig holes. Because if you go to some of the communities like Chokome and then even Kokrobite, you see a lot of garbage, like small mountains all along. I was thinking that we were thinking if we could even dig holes with excavators so that we can sometimes dig those refugees in. Maybe digging a hole can take about 3 or 4 or 6 men to be filled, so that we can be moving from one side to another. Honestly speaking, we are working assiduously with the Ministry of Local Government and the municipality to ensure that we tackle some of these challenges. I am believing that by getting to the midway of next year, especially with regard to the waste management, especially along the coastal towns. I'm talking about Chokome, Kokrobite, Botianor. These are areas that are seriously receiving my attention.
Behind me is the beautiful scenery and sprawling neighborhood of Botianor and Kokrobite. But behind this beauty and behind the potential for tourist attraction is filth at the beaches and challenges with unplanned communities and drainage system. But you heard it all. The Member of Parliament and the Assembly member and the Municipal Chief Executive all have grand ideas for Botianor Kokrobite. We wait to see what becomes of Botianor Kokrobite in the next few years to come. My name is Stephen Enti for Joy News Exclusive, Botianor. And we're grateful to McCarthy, Eric, and famous Atichogbe for their support.
Well, welcome back to the studios. That was Joy News documentaries, which we did in Botianor. I still have some of your messages, and I'll read a couple, and then we'll wrap up for today. I'll say you say that the public toilet at Sampa Market Center is very bad. It stinks. And Baba Musa from Tamale says, open defecation is a serious problem around my area. The unfortunate thing is that many residents do not have toilet facilities in their homes, and so many of these people resort to free range and open defecation in the surroundings, which for me is unhealthy and an unacceptable conduct. Thanks for your comments, Baba Musa from Tamale. And then Chris Salom
Nyadejo, you say that for years now, we are on a free range to dump refuse anywhere we feel we should. No refuse tank and my area is in a mess. Zoom Lion must bring our refuse container back. This is in reference to Ho Sokode Lokoi. I wonder whether I'm pronouncing that correctly, Chris. Thanks for your comments. And Stephen Dana says, the coach knows better. I'm not sure you're referring, we're talking about the Black Stars. And Adumako Job says that my area is very, very bad. Quincy Maestro Jones, you say it's a threat. I can enjoy nature from such a place. I reckon that you mean that the insanitary conditions in places like Botianor and Kukrobite along the coast and other places in the country are a threat as they destroy the beauty of nature. And Max Billion Tichimenson, you say bad leaders, worse environment. And Demi DeSeaman, you say that government should employ more Zoom Lion workers to clean and distill our choked gutters. You're sending this message from Tamale. I reckon that you are speaking in reference to the sanitation situation in Tamale. And Ebusia Ingulo Eja Enyima, you say that come to Ifiekuma and in Crofol Junction in Takrady. You will run. I guess you will run for cover. So those are your comments and we thank you for sending them. My name is Stephen Enti and we're grateful that you could make time with us here on Joy News Exclusive. We're grateful to the team, the production team, and all of you for making time in your homes and wherever you are and tuning in to Joy News Exclusive. Join us again tomorrow for another edition.